Most people think failing means you're doing something wrong. It doesn't. It means you're doing something hard. And if your goal is to build a 10, 20, 50, or $100 million company or become someone who actually changes the world, you're going to fail a lot. I failed every year for a decade. I wrote the same big goal in my journal every year and I missed it every single time. Not because I was lazy, because I was focusing on the wrong things and then beating myself up for it. And what changed wasn't the goal. What changed was how I used that failure. And that shift helped me to build the brands that I'm part of and actually enjoy the work. If you feel stuck or like you're behind or like your past is kind of proof that you're never going to get there, this is going to help you flip that script and scale much faster. So let's dig right in. And I'll start by saying that I know it's difficult to stay focused on success, especially when you keep failing. When you go to a seminar and you get pumped up and then you leave and then you're left alone to figure out how to get to the next level all on your own. That sucks. Or when you follow people on social media and your life doesn't look anything like what theirs looks like, and you're comparing what yours looks like to them. But what you think is failure in your life is really a tool to help you reach a bigger and bigger target. And people who don't understand this and they don't learn from their failures always live meager lives. Now, years ago, I set a goal of being a billionaire, and I didn't know how, but I was going to build a company with 1 million employees and develop a product that changed the world. And I listened to billionaires give speeches that motivated me deep down in my bones, like Elon Musk and Richard Branson and Larry Ellison and Howard Schultz and Sam Walton and so many more. In fact, I set goals from when I was 24 years old every single year. Still to this year, I'm setting those goals. And my goals include building companies that change the world, that are billion-dollar brands, because I know that at $1 billion in revenue, I'll be affecting millions of lives in a positive way, and I'll be able to donate enough money and time to make a real impact on the world. And every year since I was 24, I failed to hit that number. I mean, I've done some really cool things and I've built some great companies and I've helped a lot of people along the way, but I failed to hit my main target. And to tell you the truth, the people that I hang out with are also failures. They all built highly successful companies, some of them over $1 billion a year, some with thousands of employees, but everyone I know has far bigger goals than they've been able to reach, and they feel like failures. And those goals are the reason why they keep thinking outside the box and they keep growing. Think about your best year ever. I'll bet you had really big goals that year. I mean, goals that gave you goosebumps and that made you happy just to think about them. And if you failed to hit those big goals, how'd you handle that? Did you did you go out there and carry those goals over to the next year and fight harder? Or did you feel like a failure and change your plan? Now, a while ago, I was looking through a closet in my office and I found this journal that had my goals written in. It was about 20 years old, and it was cool that I had achieved a lot of those goals, but the big ones I was nowhere near. And for a second, while I was reading those, I felt myself get heavy, like there was a weight on me, like I had failed again. But those failures produced a lot of amazing things. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of all the things that we've accomplished and all the people we've helped and all the money we've made for ourselves and for our families, even those goals that are not exactly what we set out to accomplish. Now, I've spent the last 3 decades of my life trying to build $1 billion company, but I haven't. And for the first several years, I felt like a failure. In fact, for the first decade of my life, I focused so much on all the failures that I had, trying to build teams and trying to build systems and trying to do everything else that I needed to be done in order to reach $1 billion. And at the end of the first decade of my business life, I only had a few $1,000s saved up. And I was living with my parents and I was running my business on credit cards because I was focused on the wrong things. And then I went to a seminar. It was a personal development seminar. And the man on stage said something that triggered something inside of me. And that was that I should be grateful for everything I had accomplished up to that point. Instead of being upset with what I didn't have, I should be grateful for what I did have. And it took a lot of work to change my mindset. But when I did, it changed my thoughts and it changed my actions and it changed my results. And that simple shift from looking at my past as a weight compared to looking at it as a series of lessons that have all brought me great things into my life and great people and a lot of success. And that gratefulness helped me to stay focused on what really matters. And when you can do that, when you can focus on the few key things, the few actions that make the biggest positive difference, the few actions that move the needle the most in your business and that make you the happiest in life, when you do that, it's amazing how the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. And what you'll find is that it's almost like all those years in the past when you had those negative those thoughts were pushing success away from you. Now, I was fortunate to learn that lesson after only a decade of my life, where most people never learn to set big targets, yet still be grateful for all the accomplishments that you have, even when you don't hit those big targets. Since then, I've built a portfolio of companies, all of which have had a positive impact on people's lives, and I've been privileged to work with some amazingly smart people. And I've been featured in magazines and TV and newspapers and podcasts. And I have two amazing kids that make all the rest of that seem small. And I don't think I would have any of that stuff if I still looked at my past and felt like I had failed. Most people want more freedom and they want more money and they want more choices, but they let their past failures paralyze them. They aren't willing to learn from their past mistakes, to learn what not to do and what to do, and to let the rest pass them by and then continue with enthusiasm to the next step on their path. The most successful people I know, they know how to use their past as a driving force to achieve more in their present, and how to rebound fast when they fall, and how to learn from their experiences and keep pushing forward. And that's my wish for you. Not that you don't fail, but that you push through your failures and keep going, and that you keep learning new ways to go around or over or through obstacles. And if you hit an obstacle, you find somebody who's already pushed through that in the past, and you find out how they did it, because every obstacle you'll ever face has been overcome by somebody else. In fact, most obstacles have been overcome by thousands of people before you. And I don't say that to belittle your efforts and make those landmines seem less scary. I say it so you know that no matter what level you're at, whether you're just starting out in business or you're already putting millions of dollars away a month, no matter what level you're at, you are not alone. You are not alone. You need to push through whatever you're facing today and then make it a point to look back on this and be proud of yourself for breaking through to the next level. And you will, I hope, pay it forward. Comment below and let me know one obstacle that you're facing, because just the act of writing it here will help you to see it more clearly, how to break through it. And if you see somebody else's comment about an obstacle that they've had that you already have, then send them some love and give them a thumbs up on their comment. And also subscribe, because I shoot videos every single week to help you push through the obstacles of growing and managing an 8 or 9 figure company. Go ahead, subscribe now.